All right, folks, welcome back to Unofficially Reviewed. It's
Yes.
Christian again here with Nate. What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? What's up?
Hey,
I'm excited
I
to be
know, I
doing.
know. We had to hold off our casual discussion because we didn't want to get too deep into it. But we're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania today. We both saw it
Yeah.
opening weekend. We couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie coming into it, Marvel's had a rough time of late. This Phase
Yeah. It
4 had a lot of
appears.
very mixed reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something that said, I think I think four out of their top five worst reviewed movies were all like
Mm-hmm.
in the last like couple of years. So it's all
Oh
been
wow.
now, right? So the
Wait. Sorry. First, you said phase 4. What does that
so
mean?
Phase 4 is everything after I want to say after the Black Widow movie. I think that's all kind of been the Phase 4 stuff. So all the stuff on Disney Plus has been part of Phase 4, and then the movies I think after. I think Black Widow was the last movie in Phase 3 that ended up the Infinity Saga.
It was because Thor. I think Thor was it Love and
Love and
Thunder or
Thunder is
something
part of
that
Phase
came out.
4.
Phase 4. Okay,
Yeah,
right. Did that have? We didn't review it, but just real
that
quick,
had
like did
that's definitely in the bottom as far as Marvel movies, as far as
I was
reviews.
gonna
Yeah,
say because it was
people
definitely a
did not like that.
rough
Yeah,
movie
that
to
was rough.
watch.
Eternals was Phase 4. People were very mixed on that. Eternals is actually the worst reviewed movie Marvel has done. Yeah,
Really, I
yeah,
didn't. I think it could have been better, but I
yeah.
didn't feel. I think maybe I liked it more just because it was something new rather
Right.
than like Avenger-ish sort of thing. But yeah, I think I remember I didn't
A
like
lot of
that.
people didn't, and so Quantumania was right above Eternals. So
Oh, I believe
at
it.
the time, right? And so again, so unfortunately, I saw that comment or that statement before I saw the movie, so I went into it knowing a lot of people didn't like it, which I kind of wish I
Yeah.
didn't, but
Hmm.
I did. So,
Right.
um,
Well, how did you feel about it, Quantum Mania?
so I listened to a lot of different reviews, and the one thing I told Kara when I first came home is, movie aside, that Jonathan Majors can act.
Tell me
I've
about it.
liked him in everything
Oh
he's
my
done that I've seen.
goodness.
I'm not sure how
What
often you've seen
what
him.
else is he? No, I don't know how.
So one
What,
he did this movie called Devotion that he was in.
no, I
He's
didn't see
like
that.
a air, I think he's a Navy pilot in the 1950s. That was a good movie. He was in that show Lovecraft Country on HBO.
Okay, no,
He was also in the
I
movie on
don't think I.
Netflix. What was that? It was a movie. Oh my goodness, Jonathan Majors. It was the movie about. It's like the 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 harder they fall. Um,
Oh,
it was like a black western movie. So he was kind of the main character in that as well. But yeah, so I saw him first in Lovecraft Country. Then I seen him in The Harder They Fall, and then we watched Devotion a few days ago. Then I'd seen, obviously he was in Loki as He Who Remains at the end of that.
okay,
And
I don't
now,
recall that.
Kang the Conqueror. But and now he's coming up in.
Oh wait, I didn't see
Oh,
Loki.
you didn't see Loki? Oh
No.
man, you gotta see Loki.
Yeah, I wanted to see that, but
Gotta
I
watch
didn't.
Loki. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
comes up into that. And then he's gonna be in Creed 3 coming up here pretty soon. So he's got lots of happening like a very short
Oh, is
amount of
that
time.
him
Yes,
against? Oh,
like
okay,
Vidor. Yep,
okay.
that's him. That's him. Yeah, he is able to have. It's this very commanding emotional presence that he brings with
Yes.
him. That is just
Yes. No, like okay, so listen, because I'm just gonna get straight into it. Like, he carried that movie, right? Like, I mean, obviously he couldn't carry it because it's not about him,
right.
but he was the only. I mean, I like Paul Rudd as well,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so I don't think he underacted. I just think that the movie was just completely poorly written. Like, it was just crap, like trash. But I really, but I really like. So I didn't see any spoilers. I didn't see any reviews or anything about this movie before we went in. Like I was Valentine's Day. Liam and I went out to go see Babylon, and they had this either. I think they had. I don't know if it was a preview or I know it was a poster. They saw the poster, and I was like, oh, and I told Liam we should go see this weekend. So I didn't see any between then and when I went to go see it, I didn't see any reviews or anything. So I had no like prior knowledge to this. But the one thing that I said to myself was, it's weird. It's coming out tomorrow, but I've not seen any like commercials or anything about it. Does that mean it's low budget? Then I watched it, and it actually is not low budget because I love like the graphics that they had in there
Mm-hmm.
about the micro universe or whatever, or what do they call the quantum
Yeah.
universe. But apart from that, that movie it was just it was so painful, very painful to watch. Paul Rudd, I think he was just normal himself or whatever.
Right.
But to be honest, to be honest, the one who stole the show there was Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, and just to state, people, we're going to get into spoilers here. So I know we haven't gotten spoilers yet, but it is coming very shortly. So just be warned. This is the spoiler warning. And we're going to dig in further.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I want to stick on him for a moment because what I found for me was his one. I feel like they all of a sudden underpowered him at the end of the movie. I don't understand. Like, if you recall, he was able to just like stop Janet in her tracks, like just freeze her, right?
Yeah.
Like, so he had his whole machine. He was at the height of his power, I would imagine. How'd he let them get anywhere near his compound to stop anything he was doing? He's like, hey, go stop them, and sending out all these like army. I couldn't figure out why he felt the need to do any of that. I feel like he could have just ended that almost immediately had he wanted to. It felt like, given how they made it seem like how powerful he was, I didn't get that.
Okay. I mean, I get that. I don't, like, it made sense to me, but I could be just thinking of it in a different way. It made sense to me because I felt like his lack of power came from where he was, right? So he had gotten his suit back, so I guess he had gotten more of his power back, and he was like, oh, he's stronger because he has a suit back, even though I destroyed his little the core, I think it was. Even though he had the core back, I think he wasn't at full. I don't think he was at full. I don't think it was his core that gave him full power. I felt like the way that it was explained was that where he was kind of dampening his power.
I agree. I agree he wasn't full power, but to me he seemed like,
I mean, I felt like what happened was, okay, so this is what my thinking was. What I felt like what happened was, I mean, to be able to, for example, stop somebody in their tracks, all of this kind of takes concentration, right? But it also kind of takes a toll on your strength. Like, you just can't be shooting out beams and stuff like that and be especially if you're currently underpowered, like you're currently not at optimal strength, right? So when all of the ants, he was like trying to protect him from the ants. These ants are now also overpowered,
right?
And they're like trampling his shield, and then one was able to actually bite through the shield, you know. So I could see, I don't know, I could see him. I did ask myself, why wasn't he able to just kind of like push them back himself? But I think that's also probably why he created an army, because he knew he wasn't able to do it, you know. Maybe he had singular power, but perhaps he was just too underpowered at the time to be able to do more things, and that's kind of what gave them the capability of beating him, you know. But that is what I thought while I was watching it. So
yeah, the whole time I was like, he seems awfully weak all of a sudden. Just given how menacing he was, and they were like, let's just run in there and go get him, and then they just wrecked all his stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Which I have to admit, though, I was expecting more of a pushback, I guess, but the movie was crap anyway. So, like, at the end of the, I mean, in my opinion, granted these are people like working on, like, real people working on this, and I hate to say it like that, but the storyline was just atrocious. Some of their, like, what do you call it, little one-liners or whatever was just, what did she say? Leon was making fun of this too. He was like, one of the best lines of the movie. It's never too late to stop being a dick.
right. So Modoc
I
was
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 like,
was was funny to me. Like I found it kind of, it was so cringy, but it was also kind of
it was
funny.
so cringy. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, the way it ended, I was like, huh. But I gotta say, I didn't too much care for Cassie Lang's character.
Cassie
Mostly
Lang, who
the
was,
the daughter.
oh,
Mostly
the Wasp. Oh
because
no, his
his
Paul
daughter,
Rudd's
yeah, Paul
daughter.
Rudd's
Okay,
daughter,
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
not the Wasp, yeah, his daughter, because so she's out here using this technology all recklessly, and she's
Hmm.
so mad at him for not doing anything. And I was
Yeah.
like, he did do something,
Hmm.
if you don't recall, that he's not out fighting every little thing now. Like, I get it, you're disappointed he's not doing more, but like, give him a minute. Like, what do you like? Is everything his responsibility? Like, I don't like. What did you
Yeah.
want to go be a
I have.
vigilante? Sure, but like, I don't understand why you're so mad at him about that.
I mean, I had that, the thought had crossed my mind as well. I was more upset with her character. I was just more upset with the fact that I did not feel a synergy between the two, you know, between Paul Rudd and whoever played his daughter. I don't, Catherine Newton, is that her name? Yeah, Catherine Newton. It looks like. Um, I didn't feel the chemistry between them at all. You know, father daughter. Paul Rudd is just a good actor, I
Yeah,
think.
he's always
So
fun.
yeah, he's. But I feel like I'm not saying she's a bad actress, but I'm just saying I didn't feel it like between whatever, and the person I really, really disliked. Who I just really disliked was Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah, is it Janet?
Janet Van
Sorry,
Dyne.
I forgot the name, so I'm just
Yeah,
looking at the
yeah,
thing. I actually like the storyline. I was like, oh God, it's one of those where, oh, I can't tell you anything until the very last minute, and then when everything goes wrong, I just couldn't tell you. And then when they finally say it, it's just like, that wasn't that bad. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
Like,
You know,
she had no reason to be that secretive about it.
none, none,
Like,
none.
in fact, I feel like she should have told them immediately.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
I mean, you
oh,
know who you know he's the Ant-Man. You know that she is the Wasp. Maybe they could help, but you wouldn't say anything. You just thought maybe I'll just ignore that. That makes no sense.
yeah,
Oh my
like
God, that
I don't
makes no
know. I don't know if her
sense.
fear was if I tell them they're gonna go try to fix it, or I don't know what she thought. But like, when she came back after being down there for 30 years, and then to say nothing about what happened, like, I mean, I get that she feels responsible in some way for, I guess, unleashing him upon the quantum realm in that
Yeah.
way, I guess, because she kind of did give him back some of his power and he had
Mm-hmm.
none.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
your fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, you didn't know. How would you know that?
No, you wouldn't. But none of it made any sense. And then when she got back there, it's even worse because then all of a sudden she's Miss Know It All.
Right.
I'm just like, and oh, when she went to go get when she get, oh my goodness, look at you. Listen, you opened a. I can't deal with this. Like she went to go when they were going to go get the first like flying whatever that thing is
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and just her hand gestures was like telling them to, wage. She's like, I'll handle this and whatever. I'm like, where is this woman before? Like,
Right.
what are you doing? And then the whole fight sequence, you know what's going to happen.
Right.
You knew what was going to happen. There's no other way that this, I mean, the whole way, the whole storyline up until now has been so freaking predictable that, like, you know what's going to happen, And then also, I'm like, are all of these beasts riding around, these free beasts riding around with, saddles on their back.
Yeah,
You know, like
I don't understand. And they didn't have to explain everything, but like you're there for 30 years. There just happens to be food down there for you to eat, and like the atmosphere happens to be breathable by humans, and all these other being like, you know what I mean? Like that's not important, but like
I
the
was
whole
thinking about
time,
that
as soon as they
too.
got down there
Yes.
and they took their mask off, I was like, you can breathe down here?
Yeah, right,
Why?
exactly.
Why is
No,
it
they
breathable?
were doing that all over the movie. They
Yeah.
were when they were just going, just shrinking even smaller. Like when he went into the site, the what do you call that? The core or whatever.
Right.
Took his mask off. I'm like, how do you know you can breathe?
Right.
Like,
Isn't that the
what
reason
are
for
you
the suit?
doing?
Like, I don't. Yeah, that kind of stuff just bugs me. I was like, you can't just breathe everywhere. Like this, we
Oh, it was
know.
so
Like, and I
bad.
know it's not Star Trek, but like,
Oh God, don't get me started
you
on
couldn't
stars.
you couldn't spend a moment just like testing the atmosphere. Like, okay, oh, okay, we can
Yeah,
breathe here.
something.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would accept that. But to just
And listen, and then you were like, and you just said, you know, this isn't Star Trek. Like, this was so like with King and his army, like it was so Star Wars esque. I was just like,
yeah,
seriously, you couldn't come up with something else. It looks exactly like it, you
yeah, I
know,
was good except for
with
those little
Darth
Jawa
Vader and
things. There's in the beginning. They're like, and they had these hoods on with like the eyes. I was like, those
yeah,
are
yeah.
Jawas. I was like, what are you doing? You're just reusing assets and like making it a different color.
It's
I
so bad. It was so
I
bad. I was so disappointed.
I
I was so
don't
upset.
know. I don't
I was
know.
like, "What are you doing? Did the writers just phone this in? Like, literally, like, call in over the phone, and be like, oh, and then you know, we're just gonna add some stormtroopers, but not really stormtroopers. So just make them, and I don't know,
Right? Yeah,
have blue
like what were
light
those
on them or
robots?
something
Like what
like
were
that."
those things?
What? Yes, that's another thing. How? Would who? Where are they coming
Yeah, he's
from?
got this
You know,
army
like,
of generic things. Why are all these beings there all of a sudden that seem to not have been there before?
yeah,
Were they like are they exiled from some other place? Did somehow like and why do some of them look humanoid? Are they human? Like Bill Murray was there.
yeah.
I forget his
Mm-hmm.
Krylar was there. I guess he was human or looked human. I'm not
No,
sure.
the only one that was supposed to be humanish, from what okay, listen, from what they said and what I understood was Kang. He was on the only one that's supposed to be human
Right.
from their dialogue.
Right.
But their dialogue was just so crap that like it was really just hard to follow. I mean, like there was I'm just jumping back and forth just because my mind is racing. I was it was the worst Marvel movie I have ever seen, you know. And I feel bad saying that because I like Paul Rudd, and now because I didn't know who King was, but seriously, he was the only one I wanted to listen to. Like he was just he just had this emotion, like just in his eyes,
Yeah.
it's just how he was talking. He was just drawing you in, and I'm just like, man, I'm like, he seems like a good guy. I mean, I understand, and he was so like complex the way he was explaining it. He was like, I'm going to, you know, he was like, what is this like, free me or, um, what was it like, free me or something bad or something's going to happen. It was like, what is the bad thing? He was like, me, you
Right.
know, like that was just he was just working it. Like he was just working it. I was like, yes, you know, sort of thing. But outside of him, I was just like, and I loved when he took the core and he was like, your daughter will be fine without you.
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly. He's like you can tell he's been through this so many times. Like
right, yeah,
he's got no concept of time or your life or any of it.
right,
It's so small to him. He doesn't
yeah,
care. He's
yeah,
so he's like, have I killed you before? Like I don't know.
right.
Like who are you? I'm mad. He's like, are you the one with the hammer? Like like it's so
Oh
many
yeah.
times he can't even keep them straight. Like which one has the hammer? Like
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And then what was also funny just about his character is like at the end when they showed all of his different characters or whatever,
mm-hmm.
like at the very
Right.
end. And he just had to play all of these different versions of him, which I was like, that's funny. Some of them I was just like, really, but like he did it. Like he did it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, from
I
what I
don't
heard, they
know.
chose him also because he's gonna have to play multiple versions of himself for a while now.
Oh,
So yeah, he's gonna have to
okay.
keep doing this. So that's part of his job is playing these multiple versions. He's done really two main ones so far, but yeah, then those additional ones at the end of the movie with that kind
Oh
of
my
end credit
goodness.
scene. But
Well, he can definitely do it. It looks like he can definitely do it. So I'm not even worried about that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
apart from him, that movie just was like I don't even know what the ratings. I didn't even look yet. I still haven't looked, but like those ratings have to be just like what does Rotten Tomatoes say? Do you know?
I'm gonna look right now. I was just looking. I'm like, so Rotten Tomatoes got 47%.
See, and that's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Oh my!
man.
So that's the critics' review. What is the people's review? Does it say?
See, audience score is 84%, but the tomato meter is 47.
Audience don't know what they're talking about. That was just crazy. Like like when the what's his name the blob thing where he was like given the ooze or
Right.
whatever, but he was the blob thing or whatever. He was like, yeah, that was funny though. I'm not gonna lie. Where he was like, he's got 7 holes, and then Power Red was like, yeah.
But it's funny because I was counting at the exact same time.
I was counting too.
Right when he said, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, it was the right amount of time to count.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what I did. I loved that part. That was funny. but then see, I think I also would like to focus a little on Paul Rudd though, because even though it was atrocious writing and stuff like that, he brought his own like I don't know expertise, I guess, to it, whatever. Like when he was teaching his daughter how to like fight.
All right.
Was he like jump
Right.
something and then punch
Yeah.
or
Right.
something like
Exactly.
that? Like he does that very effortlessly. So I appreciated that. Oh, and then the Wasp, actually, she was pretty good as well. Um, I think she didn't have a lot to say, I guess, but I think she played it pretty well. But
Yeah, she didn't have
I
much
don't
to
know.
do, but
She didn't have much to do exactly. Which is funny because it's supposed to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it was really just about her.
right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I guess technically there were two Ant-Man and two Wasps in the movie. If you want to get technical about it, because Hank Pym was the
Well,
original
because
Ant-Man, and then Janet was the original Wasp. So I
oh,
guess if you look at
okay,
it that way, maybe it makes more sense if you look at it that way potentially. Because I was sitting here, I was like, yeah, why didn't you call it Ant-Man? But like, well, I guess there are two Ant-Man and two Wasps in the movie, so
yeah,
okay, fine, I guess. But
okay. Well, anyways, that was a movie that I mean I probably would have still gone to see it even if I heard bad reviews about it, but I
yeah,
do
yeah,
not think I'll ever
yeah.
watch that again.
I don't think I hated it as much as you did. It just things just didn't make sense that I feel like they could have make better sense. Because again, I've seen everything up to this point.
Mm.
Every show, every movie, every single thing, I have seen it. And I was still sometimes like not fully understanding, and maybe because I've seen too much. Like even Kang's motivation, I'm still not sure whether he's telling the truth or
Yeah,
not
or
about
if he's
what he's trying to do.
right, yeah,
Because he's saying if you don't let me out, it'll be worse. But also, I know for a fact he's trying to conquer all of it.
yeah,
And maybe that's just because he did admit that he did break it to begin with.
yeah.
So,
Well, he said his variations of him broke it.
right, which exactly. Well, yeah, he was complaining that they are out there playing with it like children, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but she was like, but Janet did tell him, she's like, well, you broke it to begin with, and he was like, so we'll see what he does. I don't think he's dead because
Well, they say he's
they
dead
didn't show him
at the
dead.
end.
I mean, they all believe he's dead,
All right. Okay. Yeah.
but we saw him get sucked into that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who knows where he went, what he's doing, what happened.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Um,
Well, I hope Kang isn't dead, or that version of
right.
Kang isn't dead because he was kind of a boss. Like
Agree.
You know.
Agree.
Oh, and what's his name? Modoc,
Modoc, yeah.
whatever. How he died. I just cringed.
Yeah,
I just was like,
I think he was there mostly for comic relief. I'm surprised they did Modoc at all. But it's funny when what was his name? Krylar mentioned that they were going to send someone after them. He's like, yeah, he's like a mechanized organism designed only for killing. And I was like, oh, that's Modoc. I guess an acronym, right? And later they like he's like, oh, it's an acronym. Oh, okay. Like, oh, but I did love how Modoc refused to respond to his name. Like
that was funny.
He was just silent.
Darren, Modoc.
Yes. Like, it was so much a part of his identity. He was like, I will not answer to that. I am Modoc now.
That was funny. And then when he was like, he was like, that's not really Modoc, is it? It's Modoc.
Exactly. Right. I was like, this is true. That's something I would say. I would definitely say that. I'm like, wait, there's an F in there. You didn't Modoc. Oh man,
oh my
man,
goodness.
man.
Yeah. But I mean, there were some fun parts in it. But again,
so did the movie at least have you excited about future Marvel movies and the direction that they're going? Because again, you know, Kang is kind of the new Thanos, right? So he's going to be a big part of Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret War as they kind of wrap up this phase. So he's kind of the focal point now. So does that give you excitement, or are you just kind of like, this seems to be going into the garbage can?
Oh no, this doesn't affect my view of like Marvel. Like this is just, I feel like this is just or so, you know, Love and Thunder or whatever. I thought that was a crap movie, but I'd still watch other Thor movies or whatever. And this, I just think really they need to find new writers. Whoever wrote this, they need to not be writing for Marvel movies at least, or get a little bit more motivation, because that I just felt like that was just the worst writing I have. They just used so many tropes. It was painful, you know. So no, it doesn't turn me off of Marvel or whatever. Just because I just like Marvel movies and stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, you get some wins and then you get some losses. This is a bottom of the barrel loss. But
yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. Not it can't all be of the highest quality like forever, right? It's been a long time they've been doing this, so
yeah,
it's bound to happen. You know, so someone I was listening to, they were commenting, and I didn't realize I felt that way until they mentioned it. But they said, you know, the movie they didn't suck them in to make them invested, and they're like, the way they realized that was, you recall when Cassie was running and that bridge got blown out, and then she had to like stop short. They were like, not at any point in time were they afraid she was going to fall off.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
exactly. Yes.
It was never a thought that, oh no, like she's in danger. It was like, oh, this bridge blew out and she's gonna, okay, now what's happening? Like it's like you're watching the movie, but you're not engaged in like, oh, what's gonna happen? It's just like, oh, okay, so yep.
But that's precisely it. It's very, you know how it's going to work. You know it. You're not questioning anything. Like the thing that I found myself enjoying, and this is actually what I told myself while I was watching. I was like, well, listen, you just enjoy the the graphics, the scenery.
Right.
You know, I was like, we're just going to enjoy that and see, instead of really paying attention to dialogue, because everything was just so painfully predictable. It's just like, you know, when she went to meet with Krylar, you knew full well he was going to turn on her. We didn't even know why.
Right.
We just knew it was
of
happen,
course.
you know?
Of course. It's
like,
all a trap.
Yeah. Like it just whatever. Anyways, I don't even want to harp on it anymore. That's how bad I felt like it was. But again, it doesn't does it? Are you? I mean, does it turn you off of Marvel?
That turned me off. I mean, I'm excited to see what Jonathan Majors does. I am a little concerned. So it doesn't turn me off personally, but I am concerned that they might be losing some steam, which is again bound to happen. So I hope they find a way to recapture some of that magic and continue. Because I hate for it to crash and burn and them not be able to like at least finish this phase, finish this story that they've started. That would really frustrate me, right?
Well, they might have just. They might be. I don't know. I don't know how they choose writers. I really feel like it was just. I don't know how they choose writers. So they might be saving the good writing for something that they are going to invest maybe more money into, or I don't know, because like they invested a lot of money into that CGI or
oh, absolutely. I mean, it's mostly CGI. Like,
yeah, exactly. So maybe they were just like, also kind of like Avatar, who we were talking about Avatar. Maybe they'll spend more money on the CGI and less money on editing, good writing, or whatever the situation is. I don't know. But I do hope that they pull themselves out of it, and the next installment of whatever is good, because they can't stay on top forever, which I wasn't expecting. So I didn't think any of the Thors were, well, the first Thor was awesome, and then after that it just kind of went downhill, especially when they tried to start being more comedic, like, I suppose.
I see. I liked Ragnarok, so I liked the first Thor. The second one, Dark World, is very forgettable to me. I'm not sure I've watched it since I saw it.
What happened?
Right. Yeah, I don't think I ever like rewatched it. Ragnarok I enjoyed. Love and Thunder.
What was Ragnarok? Which one was Ragnarok?
That was
with
the one.
Sister.
Yeah, that was with Hela, and Odin died and all that good stuff. And they went and he found Thor. He found Thor. He found Hulk was in that world and been fighting the whole time. He was stuck in the Hulk form.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's like,
okay.
Yeah, they did add more comedy to it because the first couple of Thors were kind of.
The first one I really liked. I knew that they were trying to add more comedy because Chris Hemsworth loves joking, like he's, whatever, which I really liked. But I felt like in the movie it was just too forced. So perhaps that was also something to do with writing. I don't know, but okay, well,
yeah. Well, so final score, Nate. Is it a 2?
Oh, it's definitely like down there. It's like, I mean, the graphics were good, and then Major was good as well. So I think he carried, like, it was all riding on his back, So,
yeah.
So I'd probably give it I'll give it a 3 because the graphics were really good.
Ooh-wee.
But it did not give me any desire to watch it again. I wasn't thinking about it like, you were talking about before, does it leave me thinking? Not at all. It just left me very frustrated. Just like, what the hell happened, sort of thing. So I don't know. Yeah. What about you?
All right. I'm much more generous than you. I probably give it I'm probably at probably a 6. I enjoyed it.
6. Wow.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There were things that I was like, I don't understand why this happened this way, or this doesn't make sense to me. But I really enjoyed Jonathan Major's character a lot. Again, they also created a movie for me. I mean, everything I listen to, even if they hate the movie, they're like, Jonathan Majors. Like that's the consistent thing I've heard. Everything I'm watching and reading is Jonathan Majors killed it. So, and I agree. I mean, I came home and that's the first thing I said to Carol was, "Look, Jonathan Majors killed it." Like,
yep, he did.
He's coming up. Keep an eye on that fella.
Yeah.
he's ready to beat.
I mean, to be honest, that kind of makes me just want to watch his parts again.
Wait, I mean, I've honestly, I kind of want to take Carol to see it just so she can see him. That's really the only reason.
Oh, oh man. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. 6 I would have never even thought of anything over.
Yeah, I think it's better than average. I don't think it was a bad movie, but it's definitely not a great movie. So
Yeah.
that's what I
Okay.
feel.
Well,
All
there
right,
you go.
folks. Well, hey, let us know what you guys think. Leave us a comment, email us, whatever you want to do. Let us know. We're unofficially opinionated. We're out everywhere. You know where we are. We'll see you next time.
Yes, they do. All right.
Enjoy the movie.
Ciao. Ciao.
All right, later.